got a surprise for you today. Yeah, I've been thinking long and hard about, well, it's 2020 and I just had the big milestone birthday. And what can I do? What can I give? What can I share that's also like commemorative of this year itself? You know, is there an anniversary, a landmark of some sort? I thought to my original project, Broken Saints, but that big anniversary isn't going to happen until 2023. And then it came to me, pop, pop, pop. The first print graphic novel that I did for Sean O'Reilly and ARCANA Comics, old buddy of mine who wanted to do a limited print run of whatever idea I threw at him, and I threw at him this psychological thriller based on, you know, an old short film original story by another pal of mine, Curry Leon Hitchborn, who had this kind of neat little cat and mouse psych thriller meets torture porn thing happening, and I thought maybe I could do something with it in the graphic novel format. Maybe there's a way to use it as a vehicle to tell, you know, the kind of story I like to tell, a spiritual story, a transformative tale. The basic premise of this is that, you know, a borderline grad student, a university kid who's brilliant in his own right, but he's bitter that he has spent all this time and all this money at the school and hasn't received what he believes to be true knowledge. And it becomes this like three-hander story between himself and the head of the department, Professor Megas, and his teaching assistant, the girl Maya. And I think of it now and I realize it would have been a really good play, because it really is. It's a dialogue-driven piece. Some people have said, well, there's, you know, a lot of talking heads for a comic book. There should be more action. I'm like, yeah, well, I still saw it playing out as like a film, just kind of like an art house piece. But really, it would be a great play. So if you approach it from that standpoint, you'll get it. If you want to get a sense of what this feels like, go right to the end of this video. The last minute and a half is the original trailer that we made for the book. For history, I think that it was 2011 when the first teaser copies, I think there were like 500 printed out that were handed out of the first half of the book at Comic-Con. And then it was another limited run of either 750 or 1,000 for specialty shops, comic book shops, and Amazon. And I signed a bunch of those, and yeah, that's it. It was a little tiny piece of history, but a great writing exercise for me. And yes, it is the 10-year anniversary of the original art script being finished when I was living in Saskatoon. It was that summer I finished that script and was almost finished the dialogue script at this time. So, you know, why not? 50th birthday, 2020, the world's going to hell. Let's tell a story that's kind of in parallel with all that. The getting old thing, the going to hell thing, the transforming through suffering thing. I think we can all relate. The treat for you today is that I'm going to do a reading of the book. And since this is video, you're going to see some pages from, we're going to try to follow along. And you'll see some pages from the original graphic novel. These are low-res ones, but if you want to get in touch with me, instead of trying to track down a copy at Amazon, jacked up in price to like, you know, 20 bucks or higher, I can happily part with the HD PDF, and you can do with that what you will, a print to print, a bind to bind, whatever you feel is right. So without further ado, here we are with a reading of the first 3 or 4 acts of my graphic novel for mature readers from 2011 and 12, Becoming. Written by yours truly, with pencils, inks, and a cover by Dane Seipel and Colin Machajewski on colors and letters. And we open Act 1 with our protagonist, Jacob Price, walking towards a statue of Prometheus at a fountain in the square at his university, with the opening quote, "In my end is my beginning." T.S. Eliot. Knowledge. Why else would you come to a place like this? Give up 4 prime years, even more for grad school, go thousands of dollars into debt on student loans. And for what? Some fancy letters after your name? An office with a better view? That's not a path I ever considered taking. Didn't come for a piece of 60% recycled post-consumer status. Don't want the keys to the kingdom of bullshit. I only want the truth. Teach me how this broken world works, then show me how to burn it down. The twisted old men in the halls of power have had their time, fucked us hard without as much as a thank you and a moist towelette. You watch the news and it's hard to believe that people don't riot and storm the gates. The only excuse is ignorance. And that's no excuse at all. But knowledge? Knowledge is power. That's why I came here. That's why I'm walking this path. The clock is ticking. I've done the work, put in the hours, made the sacrifices. I deserve it. But I don't feel any different. And that's not fair. I want what I came for, and I'll do whatever it takes to get it.
What do you want? Office hours are finished for the day.
I know, Dr. Megas. I just had some questions about the final project and my work so far. I'm in your grad class. My name is Jacob.
I know who you are, Mr. Price.
But that holds no bearing on my schedule or on student protocol. I wouldn't bother you like this unless it was important. It'll only take a few minutes of your time.
No question worth asking yields an easy answer. Apparently I've failed to make this clear during our time together.
But that's the point, sir. I've come to every class and lab, completed all assignments on time with thorough research and original observations, but I feel like my grades aren't reflecting this.
Ah, so this is about entitlement. That's not what You're equating time and effort spent with a guarantee of an expected and personally satisfying result. You ask for special consideration because of your needs and wants. But have you considered the priorities of others in your little passion play?
Now, wait a minute. I paid good money to come here, and that money pays your salary. So I think I'm well within my rights to ask some questions if I'm feeling shortchanged.
Well, you have the right to feel whatever you wish. But it's not going to change my opinion on the matter, Mr. Price, or my assessment of you, which is sadly shrinking by the moment. If you wish to complain, you're free to talk to the dean or the registrar, not that it will change anything. But if you can rein in your narcissistic streak and are feeling particularly brave, feel free to continue this conversation during posted office hours. I don't want to make an issue out of this. I came here to learn, and it's your job to help me. It's only fair. Life is not fair, Mr. Price. Good night.
Asshole. You want to pull that high and mighty shit on me? A career academic in a cheap suit calling me entitled and narcissistic? Maybe you should try looking in the mirror, because I see exactly what you are. You're just a relic clinging to tenure. A tired old man who washed his hands of the real world a long time ago and plays out his waning days as someone important. But in your quiet moments, when you have to really face it, it eats at you like a stage 5 cancer. That's right, Dr. Megas. I see you. I know what you are. And knowledge is power. When the student is ready, the master appears. Buddhist proverb.
Your attention, please. I don't intend on saying this twice. When this journey began 4 years ago, I expected to see half of you endure to this point at best. But educational standards in the Western world have grown increasingly forgiving. With that said, and with what I sense to be no small measure of dread on your part, I present the theme for your honors thesis. Our field presents a model of psychological analysis that emphasizes humanity's evolving mythology. Because personal and cultural myths evolve in tandem, a conceptual link to the social basis of human behavior is also inherent in this model. But we are charged with taking it further, to explore the intuitive realm, the spiritual impulse in conceiving of the individual's assumptive world. And one symbol has risen above all others in the archetypal pantheon to shape the fragile psyche of man. Fire. We began as primitives, worshipping a burning light in the sky. The first holy men harnessed it to heal, teach, and divine a higher spiritual will. As cultures evolved, so did their myths. Some spoke to fire's transformative effect, of matter being changed to ash in a near magical display. Others infused the flame with a singular supernatural consciousness, giving it a voice on a biblical mountaintop and changing the course of history, perhaps revealing something darker within ourselves in the end. And there you have it. Your task is simple. Using the theoretical and observational tools given throughout your course of study, you will craft an argument linking your own cultural, individual, and spiritual mythologies to fire. And, due to the personal nature of this assignment, and to remove any bias I may have, there is one final variable to add to our equation. Your evaluator. It should come as no surprise that I am reluctant to sift through piles of what is so artfully disguised as higher thought in undergraduate work. Thankfully, what I lack in patience I make up for with delegatory skill. Please, give a warm welcome and your respects to Maya Shepard.
Thank you, Dr. Magus. I'm happy to help, though I admit the spotlight makes me a bit uncomfortable.
Nonsense. The time for anonymity is over. You've been tireless behind the scenes and have earned the right to take the brunt of their ill will. And I will treasure a chance to engage in more fulfilling pursuits.
I hope I don't disappoint you, sir.
My only disappointment comes from the knowledge that none of those in attendance are able or willing to rise to your level.
I'm sure that some of you will surprise us. I've seen good work from this class, and your profiles and self-evaluations prove very enlightening.
And that is what we seek, isn't it? Enlightenment. Hence your final assignment. If it's any comfort, rest assured that most of you will fail. But, like the old proverb says, shared sorrow is half sorrow. I leave you in Ms. Shepard's hands.
All right, then. I'm available for the rest of the evening, so feel free to ask me anything, if you're feeling brave.
So, Miss Shepard, looks like you scared them off already. Could be the necklace. Freud would have a field day with that. Speaking of, plans for the evening?
Charming. But I'll be grading papers, doing research, working on my dissertation, the usual. No batteries required stimulations. Do you have something better in mind, Mr. Price?
You know who I am. Should I be flattered or get a restraining order?
Like I said, I've reviewed everyone's work and profiles thoroughly. Next, I bet you're going to get me to reassess one of your papers or ask me out for a drink.
Busted. But can you blame me? A man's got to hustle in this world.
It's just a mark, Mr. Price. Besides, I'd prefer the drink. Then, let's talk about it over coffee. My treat. Deal? Choices, choices. Door number 1, eye strain and paper cuts. Door number 2, caffeine and criticism. All right. Deal. But I get to pick where. See? Much better than smelling stale beer or over-roasted chain lattes.
Maybe, but not exactly private.
Oh, you're bold for an undergrad. All right then, follow me. 4 years and I've never gone up here. A toast to new experiences then. I come here sometimes for a reminder. Anything can be beautiful from a different perspective. Yep, it's a nice illusion. A safe little bubble for trust fund babies and the douchebags of tomorrow. At least it's well landscaped. Aha, the brooding cynic rears his ugly head. Is that all you really see? I see a god game, where I point and click and then watch them dance. Got a healthy ego, I see. Just the opposite. I can control them because I understand them. I know them better than they know themselves because I know myself. Predicting their behavior becomes as easy as looking in the mirror and taking aim at my reflection. Anyone can do this. It's just a matter of being brave enough,
of being sure enough to pull the trigger. Let me guess, this has something to do with my work in class, right? Perhaps. I just think that people are too quick to give away their power. Smoke? Sure. But you're preaching to the choir. I don't want anyone having power over me. Nobody can control you unless you let them. Case in point, your profile says you're a non-smoker. I lit 2 cigarettes and you clearly felt obliged. Oh, come on. I smoke once in a while, even more when I'm stressed. So when a beautiful woman who holds my academic future in her hands lights 2 smokes and offers me one, I'm there with lungs wide open. Charming. But there you go again. Putting your future in my hands? Endangering your health due to external stress? These are reactive reasons, spinning gears. The whole point of Dr. Megus's class is to see the engine beneath those gears, the thing turning them. You want to know why I smoke? I'm addicted. Addicted to the idea that I am dying a little with each one. Death by 1,000 smoldering cuts. A slow and methodical suicide. Minus the hot bath and painted wrists. That is fucking morbid. But I get what you're saying. Life kills everyone eventually, so you might as well do it on your own terms. Like the ultimate control freak. You can only control the things you choose to focus on and your reactions to them. The rest, like you said, is an illusion. Even if it is pretty. A pretty prison. It's all good, as long as you can see the bars and know who's got the key. Do you understand? I guess we'll see, Miss Shepard. I guess we will, Mr. Price. The words hang in the air like smoke, and I watch the ember drop. One of her smoldering cuts slicing through the dark. In old myths, some men would spend their whole lives scanning the skies, waiting for a star to fall. And if they saw one, if it touched them, then their greatest wish would finally come true. Act 3. We're at a pair of doors. There are always 2 choices, 2 paths to take. One is easy, and its only reward is that it's easy. Anonymous. Power and control, that's what she said. That's what we all want. Something tangible that we can touch. That masks weakness, doubt, impotence, and fear. Grasping at anything to keep from falling apart. That's why it's so easy to have an enemy. Something to fight, to conquer. Anything to make you feel like you're still alive. We are trapped in our delusions. That's what Dr. Megus would say at least once per class. The only way out is to abandon all distractions, compose yourself, wash your mind clean, harness the tools given to you, banish the phantoms, and witness what remains. Only then can you step outside and truly see it. The path is clear. The doors are open. And the trap is only a reflection. We need to talk. You've crossed the line, Mr. Price. I do hope you come bearing gifts. Your door was open, and sorry, no apple for teacher this time. Were you sleeping during class, or are you purposely ignoring the clear instruction to deal with my assistant? Oh, we talked. That's why I'm here. Is this about your final assignment? Transpersonal Psychology 101? Cross-cultural symbolism? Are you seriously going to waste my time with this? Are you saying this work is beneath you? No. I'm saying it's behind me. Have you even read my papers this term? I don't need to. What? Let your clever words join the pile, Mr. Price. Like all the others, you simply aren't capable of seeing what's right in front of you. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Is that so? Then what do you want from me? A different symbol? Is this more to your liking? A, F, plus, minus, it means nothing. It does to me. Then you're a prisoner of flawed perceptions, young man, which makes you a fool. Bullshit. 4 years of higher learning, big ideas and abstract concepts, I could recite them in a coma. I got nothing from it, from you. So you're right, I've been a prisoner and now I want out. Do you mean that, Mr. Price? Is that what you truly want? I want a perfect grade, a letter of recommendation, and a continuing studies grant. No questions, no debates, and if you refuse, then I promise things will get sticky with the dean. I want the keys to the kingdom, Dr. Magus. I want you to set me free. Well then, I commend your decisiveness and your nerve. This calls for celebration. A simple ritual, but as you know, ritual is something men are sorely missing in modern times. Drink with me. Are you serious? Of course. We should take care to mark these important moments in our lives. You're a lot of things, Dr. Magus, but you never struck me as the secret drawer of scotch type. We all have secrets, Mr. Price. It's our nature. Cheers, then. To freedom. To freedom. So, what happens now? Isn't it obvious? What? Wait. I don't... I'm going to give you what you want. No. I can't... I'm falling. But I don't feel the ground. Drifting away. It's all my fault. I asked for the keys. I opened the door, and it swallowed me whole. I keep falling. Faster and faster. Deeper and deeper. I fall. And when I reach out for help, the devil catches me. And we're going to end now with the opening image for Act 4, a moth coming towards a light bulb stained in blood. One day he'll get to you and teach you how to be a holy cow. You do it to yourself. You do. And that's what really hurts. From Radiohead's Just. And with that note, my fridge just went off, so it was perfect timing to finish. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you enjoyed the music from my cousin's ambient duo, Owl Cave Dreams. I hope you enjoyed Becoming in general. If you want to get in touch with me, if you want to do it, through YouTube, through direct message on Instagram, Twitter, on Facebook here, whatever else, and get yourself a copy of the full 98-page PDF, because this is just the end of Act 1. Act 2 is a pretty big one and a doozy. And yeah, a lot of yammer, but now we're going to get into the personal stuff. So if you've been creeped out at all, if you're in the mood, if this got you into some meditative and chilled out and a little bit creeped out space, then pick it up. Right after this, you're going to be able to see the trailer, which gives you even more of a vibe for the piece. But yeah, if you want to get in touch, I'll get the HD PDF to you. If you want to, a little exchange on PayPal, like $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, whatever. It's not about that. What it is about, though, is making sure this story lives on, because the comic industry, sadly, because of COVID, is dying a sad and painful death. We're not too much sure how much longer specialized comic book stores will live on. And the large distributors, the large bookstores that carry graphic novels now, they only carry from the mainstream publishers, usually the big three of DC, Marvel, and Dark Horse. So yeah, you want to snag this? let me know. You want to spread the good word to your horror-loving friends? Let me know. If you want to ask me any questions or get in touch with the artist Dane Seipel, let me know. And thanks again to Arcana Comics, Sean O'Reilly, to Curry Leon Hitchborn for the original inspiration, to Colin and to Dane and to everyone involved. Thanks for listening, and yeah, have a creepy summertime. More soon. New stories coming at you weekly if I can handle it.